It's time for School Dazed. Hope for moms and dads of school-aged kids.
I tell parents, you're like a training wheel on a bike. Your job isn't to make the bike move. Your job is to keep the bike upright.
Those of us who are the true educators, we really want to be given the opportunity to educate the whole child.
We can get free college degrees based on all of the opportunities that are out here and available to our students.
Oftentimes, as parents, I think we want to protect our kids, but I think one of the greatest gifts we can give them is allow them to experience adversity.
Yeah.
Here's your host, Danita Bailey.
Well, good evening and welcome to School Dazed, Help for Moms and Dads of School-Aged Kids. I'm Danita Bailey, and I have my whole family here with me today. Today is another Kid Takeover, and it's safe to say that we are living in the most unusual year of our lives. Our kids now, more than ever, are making history. So we've talked to administrators, we've talked to teachers, and now we want to hear from the kids, and specifically we want to hear about their experiences with in-person learning during the COVID-19 global crisis. So since this is a kids takeover, and I have never done this before, this is a bit of an experiment. I have all three of my kids with me here in the studio, and so they're going to help me with the intro, and then we're going to move on to our guests for today. So first of all, I've got DJ, and then I have got Jonathan and Chrissy. Say hi, John and Chrissy. Say okay. Okay. So I just want to know what well, first of all, DJ, can you tell us why we decided to not go in person? Oh, hold on.
Me and my mom, we have asthma, so if we catch coronavirus, and we're trying to keep safe, because if we catch coronavirus, it can literally knock us out. And I've had asthma attacks. I don't know if my mom has, but I bet you she has. And it's not a good thing, and it attacks your immune system, so it's gonna be bad for us. So that's why we stay home.
Okay. So Chrissy and John, what do you guys miss most about being in school?
I miss meeting new friends.
Mm-hmm.
And what's happened to our camera? It's kind of a square shape.
That's okay, buddy. Chrissy, what do you miss most about being on campus?
Well, I miss my teachers.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And when do you guys think we're going to be able to go back to campus?
I think in Christmas during New Year's Eve.
This year, New Year's Eve?
Yes.
Oh, so 2020?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So we'll be back at the beginning of 2021, you're thinking, like after the break?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, yes, ma'am. So mannerable. And John and Chrissy, when do you think we'll be back?
I think like next year during the fall.
Next year during the fall. And Chrissy? I mean, John?
In 1,000 years.
It feels like it. Well, I hope not. But thank you. Thank you for being with me on the show. Since it's a kid takeover and you guys are here with me, and since we're now doing the show in the evenings, I thought I would invite you guys on. So thank you. You guys want to help me finish up the intro?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead, bud.
Before we go any further, let me say, it takes a village. If you hear a great parenting tip or nugget of advice, share it with your parent friends. Facebook it, Instagram it, tweet it, link it in, and add the hashtag School Days Show or I Am School Days.
And also, we want you to be part of the show. If you have questions or comments to give us at 214-444-5575. My turn?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. Or if you're live with us on Facebook, you can drop us a question there.
All right. You guys were awesome. Thank you guys so much for helping me start the show. You can leave now. All right. Well, we actually have. We're falling off the rails here. Dave is actually going to join us. Hi, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for joining us.
Fresh off of work.
Yeah, he's teaching now. He's back on campus, so he we're trying to figure out the best time to actually start the show because things are a little bit difficult getting through traffic. So how was work today?
Well, as I've been telling you, I am lonely and bored.
Lonely and bored. Yeah.
Yeah, I only have one physical class a day with students, and the rest of mine are virtual. So I'm literally in a classroom all by myself teaching. It's kind of wonderful, and it's just weird. There's nobody in the hallways. I teach middle school students, and there's no life in the classroom. They all look kind of sad. Hallways are silent. The kids don't rotate, at least in my school, and so lunches are brought to them, and it's just weird. I feel like I'm in the building all by myself, but I'm there with several hundred students. But it's just
A ghost town.
it is what it is.
I'm sorry.
But I'm getting a lot done, and my kids are doing great. But it's just I kind of miss getting on my kids about just
Acting up in the class.
yeah, it's weird. It's like I kind of miss it, because even my real active kids this year, they're just looking at me like I'm crazy online. They just stare at me, and they don't unmute. They just type.
Aww.
But it's all good though. I am enjoying it though.
Okay. Well.
Yes. Hey everybody.
It's temporary. Yeah, this is all of our guests, and we're getting ready to actually get started. If you guys could tell us your name, your grade, and who you live with or where you're living. Curtis, let's start with you.
Hi, my name is Curtis Stroud. I live in Carlisle, PA. I'm in 7th grade, and I live with all my family.
All your family, is that like a brother? Do you have any siblings or?
My brother, my sister, my mom, and my dad.
Gotcha. Okay. Sajal, am I saying your name right?
Yes, you
Yes.
are.
Okay, Sajal.
My name is Sajal Burkett. I'm a junior in high school, so I'm in 11th grade. And I live I'm from Denver, but I live in Connecticut. I go to boarding school, and so I get to live, luckily this year, with all of my friends.
That's awesome. Abby?
My name is Abby Agua. I'm in 12th grade, so I'm a senior. I live in Prosper, Texas, and I live with my mommy, my daddy, and my 5 siblings.
This is 5 siblings.
Five siblings.
That's a lot of people.
Yes.
Okay, Brielle?
Hi, my name is Brielle Burkett. I'm in 6th grade. I live in Denver, Colorado with my mom, my dad, and my brother, and sometimes my sister when she's not at school.
Right. Yes. And, okay. And so Sajal and Brielle are sisters there. And then Grant?
Hello, everybody. My name's Grant. I am a 9th grader, or a freshman, at Argyle High School. I also live in Argyle in a community named Harvest, and I have one older brother, Hunter, who's actually been on this show that's in college right now at UNT.
Yes, Hunter has been on our show. Is it 3 or 4 times?
At least 3.
Yeah, he's been on the show quite a bit. He's been on pretty much every Kid Takeover we've done, so he's been awesome. We were excited to have Grant on. All right, so jumping right in, tell us what you and your peers know about COVID-19. Anybody at all? I'm not going to call your name, so just unmute yourself and talk.
Just jump on in.
Kind of like in school.
Well, there's not really much that's taught about it. It's just what you hear from the news, that it's very infectious and that it can be spread through surfaces. And I mean, obviously you have to wear masks because it's also spread through the air.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do you mean through the air? Like airborne or?
I wouldn't necessarily say airborne, but when you have a mask, like let's say you have COVID and you cough directly like onto someone, that's going to travel through the air, the actual particles,
Mm-hmm.
and can get that other person sick.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody want to add anything?
Um, it is very dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Real.
Um, so again, something more from the news. Again, it's very infectious and it can be spread through practically anything. And well, yeah, practically anything.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
We know that not everybody who gets it has symptoms, and those who don't show symptoms tend to be the most dangerous because they go around not knowing that they've that they
Contracted.
have the virus,
Mm-hmm.
and can then go on and spread it to others.
Yeah, that is a very good point. I've never heard anybody say they're the most dangerous, but that is I would agree with that. That's very, very sage of you, wise of you.
Yeah, because just they could be sitting there smiling and
Smiling in your face.
smiling in your face, and have COVID, and you don't know it, and they don't know it, and everybody thinks it's all hunky dory while you're there. Let me ask you guys this: so, what are the so you guys are all physically on your campuses, correct? So, when you walk into school, like what's it like? Are this just, hey, come on in, glad you're here, or is there any type of safety precautions? Like what's happening as you enter into your buildings?
Well, right quick before we ask that, can I ask them one quick question? Yeah. I want to know how it is that you and your family decided that you were going to do virtual learning. I mean, not virtual learning. You were going to come to school and do in-person learning. How did you guys come to the conclusion that that's what you wanted to do?
So me and most of my family are visual learners, so it's more helpful for us to be inside of the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
My family decided because of how many new safety precautions we have. Like we can't even go inside of our building. We have to walk around to go to the back doors of all of our classrooms. And we don't get lockers this year. So I think my family decided by all of the new safety precautions.
You felt like they were doing enough to keep you and your peers safe. Yeah. Anybody else?
For me, I think also for me, kind of like what Curtis said, it was more of like a learning style thing. I just know like when we first got quarantined and everybody kind of last minute went to online, didn't really work well for me. So I knew that I needed to be like in the classroom to actually learn at my best.
Yeah.
So. Abby, what were some of the when you said it didn't work for you? What was it specifically that wasn't working for you? That said, no, this ain't cutting it.
Specifically for my household, I have, like I said, 5 siblings running around.
You don't say anything else.
It was really difficult to like. It was difficult to like find time to like be quiet or like be in my own space and like get in the zone. But our district really did their best. But there were a lot of technical things. There was just a lot, and I just didn't want to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Sajal.
Well, for me, for the past 2 years, I've left home to go to school anyways. So it was more like it wasn't really my parents who, they ended up agreeing with my decision, but I kind of decided that I wanted to go back because, one, being away from my friends from that long is very hard for me. I'm a very social person, and I don't really have that many friends in Colorado just because the connections I made in middle school weren't the best. But here I was able to find a lot of friends, and being away from everyone, and everyone's scattered across the world, and time zones are really hard, and finding time to talk to everyone and actually continue your strong connections were hard. So for me, we decided more on on like social on the social aspect. But my school is very strict on, safety precautions and stuff. So that also helped us make our decision.
So you're at boarding school. Where was there an option for, or are there students who are just doing virtual?
Yes. So of course they're not going to make you go on a plane or fly back here, and not everyone can fly back because some countries aren't allowing visas or flights out. So we've set up a system that you can Zoom into classes from wherever you are.
Is anybody zooming from the dorms or from where you are?
Well, if you're going to Zoom from campus, you have to go through a couple of steps. Basically, you have to contact the health center and be like, "Hey, I'm not really feeling well," and then they will direct you further. But normally, you can end up just Zooming from your room.
Gotcha. Anybody else? Grant.
And then for me, it was pretty non-problematic because our school, I mean, the amount of precautions they've taken is kind of insane. And I mean, almost everything that we've done every year has been like fully functional. It's almost the same as this year, just with these extra precautions put in place. And so my parents weren't really worried about me getting it, and they still aren't. And they just asked me if I wanted to go back to school or stay at home. And when you're learning from a computer, there's sort of like a disconnect because you can't like have a piece of paper in front of you and just be like, "Oh, this is the worksheet." It's a lot easier to just be in class so you can ask questions.
So David already asked this question. What are some of the precautions that they've been putting in place? I was talking to you, Brielle, and your mom was talking about all of the extensive things that they've done to make sure that they protect the faculty and the students. So what are some of the things that they've done?
Some things that they have done for my school is they did like a temperature check before you go into each classroom and before you enter the building. And they also wipe down like the tables and the desk and the chairs. Mm-hmm. Leave your classrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Same with me. After every class, they wipe down all of the desks. And like I said, we can't even go inside of our building. We have to go around to go to the back door of all of our classes. And when you go in and leave your class, you have to get hand sanitizer. There's like this really big, like 2-gallon thing of hand sanitizer.
At said 2 gallons. That's a lot. Get that squirt of sanitizer. Oh, that's great. How about the rest of you guys?
And then, so for our school, there's a few things that they do, and it's kind of specific to like what you do depending on if you're like a football player or in the band. So like the basic for every student is we have these kiosks at the very entrance of the school inside where you stand on this, it's kind of like a dotted line. So you stand on it and there's a machine in front of it that takes your temperature. It's like a no contact thing.
Oh.
And so
that's high tech.
They have those, and it makes a little noise, and then like you're good to go. Or if you have a fever, there's always one of the administrators, like one of the higher up people, like monitoring it, making sure kids are taking their temperature. And then, you have basic stuff like mask enforcement, make sure people are wearing their mask and wiping down the desk. And I know because my band teacher told me this, they spray, I think it's called like electrostatic killing spray. I don't know what it's called. Oh my. But they spray it every night. The custodians have to, and it kills apparently everything in the air. So any sort of germ, anything that's good or bad for you, it just kills it. Man. Like bacteria.
Grant, what happens when somebody has a fever at that no contact temperature taking station?
Do they snatch him up?
And you never see him again.
Get over here.
So I have actually never seen that happen, but you're supposed to get your temperature taken at home. That's one thing. I know for band we have to fill out a form every morning with your temperature, and they ask you like a series of questions like, have you come into contact with someone? But I would assume they take you, and so the nurse's office, they've made it where there's two entrances, one for well and one for unwell. So you go to unwell if you're having like a fever or COVID symptoms, and then well is like if you have a headache or a less minor injury. So I'm assuming they take them there and send them home.
So there's like well, unwell, and unwell.
Yes, sir.
Something like
Wait,
that.
what?
Did you process what? So like if you're just regular sick, unwell, then you're well, not COVID unwell.
But you have to go in the same door as the.
No, he says there's two different ways to come in.
Oh, so there's like
regular
flu
sick and COVID sick, right?
Oh, gotcha. How do you know which one you are?
Well, I guess by your temperature, I guess. Well,
usually a teacher will tell you. I don't even know the difference, honestly.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we had a doctor, a pediatrician on our show a couple of weeks ago. The question was, is it cold, flu, or COVID? Like, how do you know the difference? Because they share a lot of the same symptoms, right?
Or allergies, or whatever. But yeah, well, how about some of the other guys? Is there anything that stands out to you as far as like just how you come into your buildings?
For us, it's been there's like a lot of minor things that they've changed. Of course, like said, we do wear like our masks all day. And then as far as like lunch and everything, we do have like normal lunch. They have the tables like sectioned off. We do have like how many is that? A, B, C, D, E, F, like 5 or 6 lunches.
Ooh.
Our school is really, really big. So that was one of the biggest concerns. This year we did split off into 2 high schools, but for my city, like they only have 1 high school. So we had 4,000 kids in one school last year. And so this year it's a little bit less. And then of course we have the virtual option. So, lots of like, we're trying to social distance as best as possible in classrooms. As far as lunches, they have it sectioned off. So like if you're AB, like alternating tables for alternating lunches, you can space out as best as you can. I know as far as like specific classrooms, for example, like science classrooms, we were doing labs and stuff like that. However, now just recently, they just changed it to where all of our labs are virtual. For art classes, we're not allowed to like share utensils. Everybody has their own stuff. So it's just very like subject to like that specific like course. But yeah, they've done pretty good, I would say.
With that many students, are you guys actually able to be 6 feet apart very often? No, not at all.
No.
It's all up on each other, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. There's just no way we're going to be able to social distance like that.
So how many of you guys have had any instances of COVID in your schools?
We have, yeah. Actually, our whole football team just got quarantined, unfortunately. They only had 1 case.
Okay.
But 1 case means everybody gets
what are they going to do now?
Actually, the last 2 weeks have been, I don't know.
They're going to play Madden now instead of like the game? Or?
The last 2 weeks we've had a lot of, I guess so. I don't really know what they're going to do. It's kind of like awkward in the middle of their season. So yeah, that's unfortunate.
Wow.
I know for school, they actually keep a spreadsheet of cases. So it's divided by school. And so how our school system works is that so there's 2 elementary schools depending on where you live in the entire city of Argyle. And then there's 1 school. So one of the elementary schools goes up to 5th grade, and the other one, 4th and 5th, are in a separate school called the intermediate school. And so that school actually got shut down.
Ooh.
The whole building?
The entire building, yes, sir. So all of this had to go virtual. And
what happened that you had to go? They had to get shut down. Was it that many cases, or what happened?
I don't think it was a lot of cases. I think what the real problem is there's a shortage of substitutes. So teachers are getting COVID, and there's nobody to cover for them. Like one of my teachers, he was telling me last week the high school almost got shut down because we didn't have any substitutes, and that's not because of COVID, but when you have like 11 coaches, because there's coaches that are also teachers, when they have to leave because there's a football game and softball and volleyball, that's 13 people that are gone that are teachers, and there was only 11 subs. So what they did was pull a few teachers' aides that are from the intermediate school and actually sent them to the high school for substitution.
Wow.
Let me just say something to that. I know that, I was personally petitioning to stay home, but they needed me back, and we have some teachers now where like they have no breaks at all. My coworker on the math team, she didn't have lunch today until 3:30 ish or so. They're just not people, or it's can I go to the bathroom, and my schedule's a little more flexible because I have a smaller group of students, but no, I get it. And our campus isn't, we're a charter school and we're smaller, so we can kind of flex more, but there needs to be bodies. I mean, people physically there, and if they don't have enough people there just to monitor the students, especially as you go up to these other schools, it's definitely gonna be a challenge.
And I would guess there's probably a little bit of a shortage of people that are even wanting to be subs.
Oh yeah,
because they don't want to expose themselves to possibly.
Yeah, I mean, subs, they don't get benefits.
Oh, that's a good point.
The pay is not all that. I mean, it's decent, but is it worth, if you get sick, to that'd be a whole other thing. I haven't really done a lot of research on it, but as far as substitutes go, it's probably a mass exodus of subs going in other industries where they can get a little more stability, and where they can make sure that they're going to be okay. So
get some benefits.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys. So this is something we've never seen before. You guys are making history. We're all making history. But with all the new safety measures that were put into place, how did you guys feel when you first got to campus? And I know two of you guys just started like a couple of days ago, or last week or something like that. So you're probably not quite used to everything yet. So emotionally, how did it really impact you guys?
Well, for me, emotionally, I was honestly really excited because I haven't really physically seen a lot of my friends in a really, really long time. But I don't actually get to see some of my friends because we're doing a hybrid schedule. But I was really excited because of the majority of friends I did get to see. It was really nice seeing them, and we all it took us like an hour to catch up. But it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
So how do you catch it? Do you hey girl, and do you virtual hug, or do you ooh,
do you do the awkward air hug?
I bet you so much.
It was kind of awkward, but yes.
Or the hard wave, I'm so excited to see you, but don't touch me.
Here, I also was very excited. I got here almost 2 weeks ago, and I am so blessed this year to be able to live with 4 of my best friends. So we all get to, relax, take off our masks, and, actually be with each other. But we were quarantined for a week and a half before we could actually go out and have in-person classes and everything. And that was nice at first because, first of all, it was nice to be out of the house and, no offense, real, but kind of be away from my siblings and my family.
Hey.
Enjoy that independence that boarding school lets me have.
How dare
you? On the other hand, a lot of my, not all of my friends live with me. So I couldn't see them for a little bit, and even now, it's still hard to see everybody because, one, it's been raining for the past week, but also because here, if you want to hang out with people from other dorms, then you have to have adult supervision, which I don't really know what that means, and they haven't really outlined it in the rules, but that's just made it really hard to see everybody. But the other thing is we have to get COVID tested every week. So it's really anxiety inducing because you get tested and it's do you have it or not? And no one's really had it yet. Well, we've had one staff member who caught it, but no one's had it yet. But it's still like, do you have it? Do you not? It's like, that scare. That's like,
Okay, so
what do you do?
I'm so curious about this. So is it like a day that everybody gets tested and you're all just kind of waiting, like, your grades from finals, or what kind of break down for us what that's like?
So basically, here in Connecticut at my boarding school, we don't call grades grades. We call them forms. So each form has a day to get tested, and the staff members and the faculty members also have a day to get tested. So for example, all of the staff go to get tested one day, all of the third formers go to get tested one day, all of the fourth formers, etc. And then 2 days later, if you get it, then you receive an email and you have to be quarantined and you have to leave campus.
Oh.
But if you don't, then you don't really know and life just goes on.
What do you mean you have to leave campus? You got to go back home? Like they put you on a plane?
I wouldn't say they put you on a plane. Everyone before coming to campus, we had to get tested and get we had to find someone in Connecticut whose house we can go to if we get COVID,
okay,
or if the school shuts down. So then you would have to go to their house and you can't be on campus anymore.
So you have a house, a friend or family where you're going to call them and say, hey, I've got COVID, I'm coming over. Is that what you're telling us?
Yeah, that's what the school said. I don't know what they were thinking, because I'm not quite sure many people are going to be like, oh, you have COVID? Sure, come join us.
Right.
Come hang out with my family,
Right. Look, let me tell you right now, you wouldn't be coming to my house. I'll tell you, he'll put you up in the Holiday Inn or something, but you ain't coming over to my house. Now, I wonder, I know we got to move on, but I wonder if it's like, like with the NBA Finals just ended, and these teams that lived in these bubble worlds where, they had to stay within the confines of their environment. Do you guys have any freedom to go anywhere, or do you guys have to stay in the campus bubble all the time? Or like, what, do you have to stay there all the time, or can you go out to McDonald's, or what's it like?
We have to stay in our bubble. In previous years, our campus was considered the town of Wallingford. So like, you could go anywhere inside of Wallingford. You don't have to ask anyone, because that's campus. But this year, campus is strictly the 4 big blocks where the school is. And so you can't leave, you can't do anything. And just when the quarantine period ended, thankfully, we were able to order for delivery. So like Uber Eats, DoorDash, those kind of things, which is great, because not gonna lie, the food here is not that good.
Oh no.
But yeah, we can't go anywhere. If for example, if we have to go home, then we'd have to go through our deans and then fly home. And if we decided to come back, there's one house on campus where you're quarantined in before you can go back to in-person classes.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. The question was, what's it like being on campus? Was it a relief to be able to? Several of y'all had said that we were really excited to be there. Was it weird? I mean, it had to have been a little bit weird, but just kind of how were you feeling about being there?
It was definitely a relief. I'm just going to say that because, like Curtis and Abby, I'm a very visual learner. During online school, it wasn't really working out for me that well. So it was definitely a relief. It was really weird though, like having some of the students, just like seeing them off of a projector onto like the whiteboard, and then having some of them in class with me. But it was definitely a relief.
Anybody else? Grant?
For me, it was interesting because, in my friend group, we're pretty tightly knit. So, we like have communication with each other. So it's kind of surreal when you go from 8th grade to high school because you see your friend that you've known for like 4 or 5 years, and they've grown a foot, and you're just like, how did you grow this tall? It's so confusing, and I mean it's kind of weird, but you just get used to it, and yeah, it's definitely a shocker, that's for sure.
Yes, you come from a line of taller people, so I'm sure it's like, whoa, what happened to him? So I mean, socially, when you guys are interacting on campus, are your peers, are they taking it seriously as a whole, or is it, are there some clowns that are trying to make it a joke of it, or like what's that been like? Has it been serious as far as the safety precautions, or is it more loosey goosey?
For my school, some kids in the school, well, 3 got kicked out because they thought it was a joke and they were like taking off their mask and stuff like that. And
when you say kicked out, do you mean
get out?
They're not coming back, or they're suspended for a little while? What do you mean?
They're suspended for the rest of the year.
They're at they're at the crib.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're doing all online work.
Oh, they use them as an example. Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty serious.
Some of the teachers, a lot of the teachers are taking it very seriously, but some are still touching words and stuff like that, and it's kind of weird.
What did you say? Some are still what?
Like they're touching your papers for different things and all that.
They're touching your papers?
Yeah.
You're not liking that they're touching your papers?
No.
You don't want them to be close. Are they able to stay a little bit distance from you, or are they coming up to you and standing next to you like usual?
We're doing hybrid, so they're able to stay further away.
Okay. Curtis, did your parents give you any guidelines or warnings or anything about going to school before you started back in person?
Yeah. They said after every class we had to use hand sanitizer.
That was just what your family said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you keep your own stash?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I keep my own hand sanitizer.
Did any of your other parents say, okay, now this is what you do when blah, blah, blah? Anybody else get some warnings, some precautions? Grant, your mom's a nurse. She works with babies, right?
Yes, ma'am. She's a NICU nurse at Baylor.
That's right. So did she have anything specific that she told you before you went back out there?
Honestly, surprisingly, no. Because I think they trust me a lot more than my brother, because I'm more mature than my brother was at my age.
Oh, Hunter, did you hear that?
He's probably listening out there, extremely mad right now.
Throwing shade at his brother.
But I mean, I can't really think of anything. I have my own hand sanitizer, and I use it maybe after we do an activity where I've been at multiple people's desks or touching pencils or something. But really just keeping your mask on is the main thing, I feel like, because that's the most important thing, is if you have your mask on.
Yeah. Are people having a problem with that? Because I know a lot of adults have expressed dismay about having to wear masks for long periods of time. Is that something that you guys are finding it difficult to do?
Yes, definitely. Me and I know a lot of my friends are having a lot of trouble keeping our masks on because it's so hard to talk with them on. It's really muffled. It's also really annoying to just have them on your face all day, especially when it's really hot, since we have to walk outside to get to all of our classes. It's really hot, and just having a mask on and having the heat underneath the mask is just even worse.
Sorry.
You can go.
Go ahead. Okay, I was just going to say about the mask thing. I just recently invested in a face shield, because the
Oh.
masks were driving me nuts. It would like my nose would be like red and like start to scab, and it just I couldn't do the mask. So I did the face shield, and so now like people aren't confused about what expression you're making, or like you're not hiding. I can't stand that. Like people hide their mouths and you don't know if they're smiling or like
Smizing.
yeah, if they're like giving a dirty look. So yeah, the face shield's great. I love it. I can breathe. I can smile freely. So yeah, that's been my kind of way to get out of the mask situation.
So, Abby, are there other people that have face shields, or are you in the minority, or?
I'm a pioneer for that one. I've seen one other person do it, and I got one of my friends. Actually, got two of my friends to do it. But there's like 4 of us. The teachers do. There's more teachers that wear them. Actually, a lot of the staff. But student-wise, there's like nobody. But it's great.
I love that you're pioneering. I always
Yeah.
wondered if there were going to be any kids that were going to do that, and because it's a lot. I mean, like it's a lot. But I get that you want to do that.
Yeah, I know. You know, for me, you know, I'm all guarded up. I have my mask, I have a face shield, and I have a big plexiglass barrier in front of me too. So like, I tell them, "Hey guys, welcome. Y'all gonna get me sick today? You will not get me sick today." Now let's go in and get to work. But yeah, it's weird. I mean, it's just this whole environment it's me being back on campus, and you know, is nothing. I can't describe any other experience I've had. I've been in the classroom for 12 years now, and I've never seen an environment like this before for everybody. You know, the teachers, you have those half mask wearers. I'm sure you're saying they have them over their mouth, but not over their nose. It's like, cover up your nose. You have breath out of your nose, and you know, some they just I'll take I'll tell my son, do you want my wife and my son to die? Put that mask back on. I'm not playing with you. It's like, oh. Sorry, Mr. Bailey. I'm not playing. Put that mask on. You know, and I mean, I get it. You know, and so it's just some of the teachers, a lot of the younger teachers, they seem to be a little more loosey goosey with the mask.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but yeah, it definitely is a new environment for everybody. That we're all getting used to. We're all getting adjusted to it.
Were there any other parents that were like, okay, now listen, this is how we're going to handle this when you get on the campus? This is what you're going to do. No, they were just like, listen to the people that are telling you what to do and do that. Yeah.
Basically, but they're also having me do, like, even though we put on that 2-gallon thing of hand sanitizer, we have to put on more hand sanitizer after the 2 gallons. And like, of course, we have to social distance. But yeah, that's basically it.
Put on like a facial wash.
Sometimes I think about that. It's like, I don't
Friends
want
are even wearing goggles, I think.
I like that I have glasses because it makes me feel a little bit more protected from people's spittle. So raise your hand if you are down with if you're gonna follow Abby with the face shield. Oh, Curtis is down with the face shield. Grant, all y'all would be willing to wear a face
You know
shield?
what? Innovate.
Sorry,
Be pioneers.
I think I'm gonna have to step out on this one. Face shields are not allowed at my school.
Oh.
Mask or no mask.
Really? How come?
Well, they say that face shields, they don't cover the sides and bottom of your face.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So.
Oh yeah, a lot of my teachers are wearing face shield, but like they hot glued like felt to the sides of it, to like the bottom. So.
Now can we just stop right there and say that's crazy? Not that it's a bad idea. I'm just saying y'all are going to school with teachers who have hot glued something to an apparatus on their face. I mean, can we just like stop and just say this is the weirdest year ever?
It definitely has been, yes.
Yeah,
Oh
I gotta admit, now, I look like a buster when I wear my face. I look like a buster. I bet you do. I look like a chump. I'm like, this looks ridiculous. Now there are some stylish ones that you can like. It's a face mask and a little shield right up over just to your eyes, like almost like glasses, but it's a face shield. And so you might want to,
That's the one I have.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
See?
okay. So it's not like a full like.
I had that one at first, but then like I couldn't wear my hair down because I would be smashed like this. So I got the little glasses one.
Does that happen to be near?
I was gonna ask you.
It does actually.
Ooh,
Abby, let's see it. No, all you listeners, you're gonna have to just trust us on this one.
Or you could go to School Dazed.
She has it like right there. She's ready to.
You could go to our YouTube channel and you can see this portion of the episode, or on Noggin Foundation. Oh no! So that's just as big as I thought it was. Oh, but it has the goggles built in.
Oh. Yeah, it has the goggles built in. It's great. I love it so much.
But
it's like my favorite thing
let me just say, you look adorable. Like,
thank you.
Not everybody can pull that off, Abby.
Yes, the next episode is on face shield style. That's next week. Don't forget to tune in next week for that one.
So I would wear it if it was that's actually really cute, and it doesn't have like a weird color right here, and yeah. Grant and Curtis, you guys said that you would be willing to do that?
Would you guys rock that?
I'll rock that.
Oh,
okay. Okay, Abby, look at you. Oh, see now you're an influencer.
Well, she's a senior.
Yep.
Like if a senior in high school will do it, then I feel like that's a really good influence, because the people that are younger than you are like, well, if she'll do it and she's totally cute. Okay, we're getting
right.
We're getting, okay. So, I definitely want to know. Okay, so what happens when somebody gets, and maybe we've kind of already talked about this, what happens when somebody starts to show symptoms on campus? I know somebody said that there was a well door and a not well door. Was that you, Grant?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So they kind of divided it into different entrances, just so it's reducing the spread even more.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
And then,
oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh.
Grant, I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
No, it's fine. It's weird. So, like, I'm not sure if this is a question, but if you don't wear a mask, you obviously get sent home. But we actually had a student at our school wear a gas mask, like a World War I.
Oh.
Type, like, where you pull it over your head and it's got the
tubes?
I don't know what you... Yeah, it's like a tube. It's made out of rubber.
Like
and
the
so
musket
I do
thing?
believe he got sent home.
He got sent home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Brielle, what were you going to say?
I actually don't know.
You don't know what happens when somebody starts coughing or...
I don't know, but what I guess would happen is that, like Curtis, we have to take our temperature every morning and submit it to the school's website. But if you don't do that, then somebody comes and takes your temperature in class.
Mm-hmm.
But what I think would happen was that they would again come to the class and like take you to like the office or something.
Take you away?
Yes, they would take you away.
Abby, you were kind of raising your hand.
Oh, as far as like symptoms during the school day, I'm not really sure. I know that the nurse, I've talked to her a couple of times, she said they have to there's a whole system with the parents and stuff, the parents are involved, but they have a whole contact tracing method that they do as far as like who's been close to who. So there's like seating charts and they look at the cameras and everything. So that's why when one person gets it, a lot of people then are pulled out of class, like with the football team, the whole football team's quarantined. So yeah, there's been a lot of, one case is like 20 people gone.
Oh gosh. I did wonder. Oh, go ahead, Brielle.
I've got more information. So when somebody shows symptoms, they get sent home and then they have to Zoom. And they can't come back to school unless they get tested.
Okay.
Wow. I wanted to ask you guys, are any of you guys in any extracurriculars activities? And what's that like? Okay, so talk to us about kind of what, if it's like sports or, band or, chess club, I don't know. Chess club
You
still
can't
open?
social distance playing chess, can you?
No, I guess not.
No, you can't.
Curtis, talk to us, Curtis. What's it like?
So I'm playing baseball for my Carlisle team, and so uh, we can't be in the dugouts, and like we have to line up along the gates, and the umpire is calling the pitches from the pitcher's mound, and yeah, it's really weird.
Wait, from the pitcher's mound. So where?
Yeah.
So
behind the pitcher's mound.
Oh, so like in between the pitcher's mound and second base, kind of like back there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So is everyone masked up, or do they test before you guys play, or like what?
They don't test, but
just take our word for it.
Yeah, and you can wear your mask if you want to, but you don't have to.
If you want to.
Well, they're running, they're exercising. It makes it a little bit more difficult.
Or easier to pass it on.
Yeah, but I mean, so I know, and from having friends in Colorado, Brielle, you guys are required to wear masks outside. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
So if you're running or exercising or walking.
Yeah, we actually have, so we do our sports every day. I just signed up for soccer, but I did do volleyball. We have to wear our masks the whole time.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but wow. Oh.
Do you get used to it? I mean, I tried to, because I'm a runner, and I tried to run with a mask on, and I was thinking about my friend in Colorado who has to wear a mask while she's running, and I was really struggling.
You kind of get used to it, but at the same time you don't, because when you're running, it kind of falls down when you constantly have to pick it up. But I guess when I was doing volleyball, if we were like far enough apart and we were just like bumping, I think we can take it off.
Mm-hmm.
But just if we're like, we have to be like 15 feet apart to do that.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Grant or Sajal. Sorry, you both took your mics off.
So I actually have a lot of information because for 4A, Argyle is one of the bigger schools. And so, like, marching band wise at least, and football wise, we're decent at football. There's always La Vega. But, so it's weird because this year is a state year, so we have to take it seriously. And there's other bands that have been, like, massive competitors in the past for UIL, like winning the championship at state. And these bands that are super big that aren't doing these precautions, they're getting quarantined full band for 2 weeks. I know North Lamar is right now for 2 weeks. All of the entire band's gone. So I think we should commend all teachers for like just going the extra mile work-wise, because it's a lot more work for basically the same amount of pay. And I mean, the precautions we're taking are kind of just like crazy excessive. You've got all these forms you have to fill out and temperatures you have to check, and you also get it checked when you walk in every day. There's like these mesh covers that you put over your instrument now. If you're like let's say you're a saxophone or something, there's these gray mesh covers that you actually have to put over your instrument.
I hadn't thought about that before.
So when you're playing, and it's like when it's spewing wind out, it actually reduces not the wind, but like the amount of germs or bacteria that get out of there to even reduce it from that point. And so it's just a lot of stuff on us, and they're getting hurt because.
Wow.
Hey,
that makes
how
sense.
do you guys sound? Because I have a friend whose husband is a band director at UTA, and it's not the same. So do you feel like the sound has been compromised because of these safety measures?
Well, since I'm a freshman, I don't really have a giant frame of reference.
Good point.
But I would say, honestly, no, not really. Because it's just this, like, thin mesh kind of thing. It doesn't really affect the sound that much. You can always play louder. So, I mean.
Always play louder, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I played the trumpet until my wife sold my trumpet.
No, he did not play
She
the
sold-
trumpet until I sold it. I sold it because he had not played it in about 15 years.
Well, because you didn't give me a chance, because you gave
Yeah,
it away.
15
I'm
years.
so salty. I was quite good. I was in the more complex band, the wind ensemble, and all that. I didn't do marching band, but I was.
Ask me if I've ever heard him play.
Yes, well, I was quite good back in the day.
I bet you were. I was very good.
But
with
you'll
the
never
clarinet.
know, will you?
No, I will
yeah.
not.
Anyway,
I'll be okay.
But to your point, I get it. Because when you're blowing, you're blowing through the mouthpiece and the spit and the breath and the air coming out the.
COVID.
Yeah.
COVID coming out of your instrument.
Yeah. So.
That's actually another thing. So there's valves on like trombones and stuff.
Yeah.
So when they're blowing, they collect the spit.
Oh.
And during summer band, you actually had to bring a Tupperware with like kitty litter.
Oh.
No, with kitty litter. So you could empty it into the kitty litter, and it would absorb in there, and then you could close the Tupperware.
That makes
sense. And then change it out every day. It's pretty smart, honestly, but it just sounds stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so disgusting.
Because normally you just
can't empty it
blow it out to the
the
ground and keep
floor.
on going, but yeah.
Like the parking lot.
Fascinating.
I'm speechless. Sejal, you've been trying to say something for a little bit.
So here, we're not allowed to leave our dorms without wearing a mask. So if you're going to go on a run or go on a walk or anything like that, you have to wear a mask. But if you're going to exercise, as long as you're outside, you can wear gaiters. So not like ears. Like you can wear gaiters. But I play basketball. So we're working out indoors, doing basketball stuff because our season kind of got chomped off at the end of the year. And we all have to wear masks. We all have to be socially distanced. And it's a bit annoying, but I mean, but before I came to campus, I've kind of been like mask training myself because I didn't want to just come and just have
That's
wear
smart.
a mask day after day after day. I kind of wanted to like know how it felt like and like know like the level of annoyance before having to do it. But I mean, I haven't really had a problem with it except for, when you have to run a lot and then you're just breathing really hard.
Mm-hmm.
That's really tough.
Yes.
But other than that, all the clubs are online, are all Zoom. I know for music, all of like orchestra and wind ensemble, they really try as they might. Doing it online is not the easiest.
Mm-mm.
And it's really funny sometimes because my friends are in it, so I watch them practice, and it's hilarious how poorly it goes.
What format are they? Because so we're using Zoom right now, and every time we talk over you, then your mic goes away, like your audio goes away, and so there's a problem with Zoom. I know with not being synced with one another, so you can't really sing very well. Are they using some different format like Teams? I don't know if it's like that.
I know everyone's using Zoom here, but we don't really have the same problem as you. At least I don't, where people can talk over each other and you can hear everybody. So I know that's how they're doing it. They're definitely not in sync, but
yeah, that's the problem. How do you sing, because we've tried to sing Happy Birthday on a Zoom call and everybody's all over the place. It's awful.
Yeah. Hey, real quick. What's lunchtime like? Like time to eat?
Oh my gosh.
Come on, y'all. I'm hungry. Let's eat.
I don't hate. I have a dislike. I really don't like how they did meal times this year. So breakfast they deliver to our dorms the night before. And then for lunch, everyone has 45 minutes to eat lunch. They put it on your schedule, and they're in one of 5 places across campus. And for me, it could either be right next to my dorm or all the way across. I have to walk down the hill and then up another hill just to get to lunch. And that really sucks for multiple reasons. one, I don't want to walk really far to just eat. And two, well, no. Two, I don't want to eat dinner at 7 p.m. every day.
7.
And I really, really miss just being able to sit with everybody and just have a crowded lunch table.
Yeah.
But now it's like one person on one side of the table, one person on the other side.
Oh, that sounds sad.
We make do. Hopefully once this rain starts, we're allowed to sit outside and like sit socially distant with our friends. So hopefully we'll have some nice days before
Yeah.
it gets really cold.
Yeah, I'm from the east, so I know you're in Connecticut, so it's about to get cold. I remember trick or treating in
know.
the snow, so I know how it is there. So what's like when you have to walk across campus in December, in January? That ugh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you. How about the rest of you guys? Oh no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's nice sometimes in the winter, especially when it's like the first snow. But after that, and then everything turns, mushy.
Yeah. It's
You're
not cute.
over it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I lived in Minnesota also, and it's cool for about a half a second, and then it's just gross.
Yeah.
And messy.
How about Curtis? How's it for you? Lunchtime, time to eat. Let's go.
Lunchtime, usually we're still in our classrooms having lunch, and the lunches are not that good. So I usually pack my lunch every day.
Wait, they're not good because you pack your lunch, or
Yeah.
you're getting school lunch?
He doesn't want the school lunch because they're nasty. Is what he's saying.
Is that what you're saying?
No, the school lunch is not good.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, the school lunch is not good.
Yeah.
Oh. And so, like, when you're eating, is it like, do you like take off your mask, take a bite, and put it back on, or you just eat? Just like, okay.
As you can tell, we've not been out much.
Yeah, we haven't been out
We've
in
not
a
been
restaurant.
to restaurants
Yeah,
or
we
anything,
don't.
so we don't know what it's like on the outside world when you
For
eat.
the outsiders, it's like you guys. Curtis, talk to us.
So lunchtime you could keep your mask off until you're finished eating. And it's kind of weird too because like they allow you to keep your mask while you're walking in the hallway to go get a drink or go throw your food away.
Ooh.
You keep it off?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. That's not cool.
Oh.
That seems like that bothers you. Does that bother you?
It does.
He's like, heck yeah, it does. Yes.
Curtis, you seem like you're a little more conservative about this whole COVID thing.
I am. I really am.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told you I burped in my mask after eating. Have you done that, Curtis?
Terror.
What? This is real life. This is real. Curtis, look. Curtis, you know what I'm talking about. Abby, have you burped in your mask?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Well, my face shield, but
Oh yeah. So you have a little
not
more.
quite the same.
It kind of flows out of yours, but like for the rest of it's like it's trapped. You get
I know.
you get all the sour cream and onion chip burp.
Ow. I was trying to talk to Curtis about his feelings about this, but you went into your old burp story.
It's life. People burp. I'm sorry, babe. People burp in their mask. I'm sorry. I sneezed too. That was hard too. That sneezing too. That was a hard one too. I was like, here it comes. I'm sorry, y'all. Look, Abby, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay, but sneezing in a face shield is embarrassing because like you see like, and then you're like, oh, excuse me, I gotta go to the bathroom and like take it off. And, yeah.
Oh, Abby, you just made my day. This was the highlight of this whole
Oh, and
segment right
everybody
here.
looks too. It's terrible.
Oh yeah, doesn't know where to hide with that. And if it's snot, and yeah.
Somebody needs to invent something to fix that, like real quick. Like
Windshield
what?
wipers or something.
Windshield wiper really top. Yeah.
What did you say, Grant? We could hear.
Install like just windshield wipers at
Yeah.
the top of the face shield, So you can just click a button and they just automatically clean.
Yes.
There you go.
Well, collecting it just swishes it out.
It's gonna need some spray too, because if you get like little snot,
Yeah.
it's.
See, babe, this is why I'm here.
Yes.
Yes, because I think about things that you don't think about.
Well, I may think about them. I just don't say them.
Well, hey, burping and sneezing is a part of life. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know you can't go the whole day without burping and sneezing. I'm just saying. Okay, all right, go on, babe. We'll get ready to wrap
I don't know
up.
where we are now. Like I'm lost.
I am going to have to head out because I have to study for a math test tomorrow.
Woo!
Yay, calc.
Sajal, thank you so much. Actually, Sajal ended up kind of a last minute addition, and we applaud you for your flexibility and allowing us to just grab you at the last second and say, hey, you want to be on the show today? So thank you.
Of course, I was raised being flexible. So.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Bye, Brielle. I love you.
Oh,
bye, guys.
That's sweet.
Thank you.
Study hard. Yeah.
So sweet. Well, we are actually at the end of our show anyway.
Before I come up with some other things to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. But we do want to thank you guys so much and just wish you guys a wonderful school year. And I pray that the rest of us can join you too at some point soon, because we are all tired of virtual learning. I think I can just speak for the entire world and say we want to get back to campus. I'll speak for all the parents.
Yeah, well, I'm loving it, but I'm a little different. But,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, don't go anywhere. We're just gonna end here, and we'll chat with you after. So, unfortunately, we are out of time. And Noggin Educational Foundation is the premier sponsor of School Days, so we always want to let you guys know what's happening with Noggin. We're currently taking applications for 2 of our programs. Noggin offers 12 hours of free private tutoring to students through our educational coaching program. Also, through our ARD advocacy program, parents receive support in securing services and accommodations their kids need at school for learning disabilities and special needs. With the closure of schools, the education gap for low-income students has widened, and the one-on-one intervention we provide is vital. So see our website, nogginfoundation.org, or email me at danita@nogginfoundation.org for more details. And as always, head to our website, schooldazeshow.com, for more information about all that we're doing with Noggin and for the resources mentioned on School Dazed. And remember, you never have to miss a show. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, and pretty much anywhere you listen to your favorite podcasts. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Noggin Foundation. That's NOGGIN. And lastly, we always want to end the show by saying that David and I are parenting by grace. We depend on God to give us the wisdom and strength we need to raise our kids into flourishing adults. And if you want to know more about that, please feel free to email us at info@schooldazedshow.com. Have a great week and stay safe.